Hey traders, how are you guys doing? I pray that you guys are doing well. So in this video on this morning, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to catch hundreds of pips when you are swing trading. And so I want you guys to write these three things down that I am going to be showing you in this quick video. Okay, number one is what is swing trading. Number two is basically how to catch 100 pip moves. And then number three is the best strategy you can use to catch these moves. Okay. So let's go into first before we get on the charts. What is swing trading? Okay, so swing trading is the art of holding your trades over a period of time, and that time is actually more than 24 hours. Okay, so I want you guys to think about it this way. If you're holding a trade for more than 24 hours, like what does this mean? This basically means that on one currency pair, you're going to be holding this trade for more than a day. Okay. Now, some trades you can hold under a day depending on the momentum and the time frame you're trading. But the art of swing trading is trading one currency pair that you don't have to keep coming back to on a daily basis for like a check-in. Okay. So it's kind of like you're not micromanaging the position. I think in day trading and scalping, you have to micromanage. And micromanage basically means you have to be at your charts for hours until the trade is complete, right? Or constantly checking in that trade. Okay, so that's one part of swing trading. Another part of swing trading is you can literally catch multiple positions on one pair because you're holding for such a long period of time. Sometimes there will be fluctuations in between a few of these, in between your swing trade, and you can catch some moves, right? And so that's a really good thing about swing trading. And I think lastly, a really good part about swing trading is you're able to hold positions while you're working. You're able to hold positions while you're with your family, or if you have a business, or if you go to school, stay at home mom, stay at home dad, whatever the case may be, you're able to walk out the door and let the position run for you. Once again, you don't really have to micromanage it. It's not like something you have to come to at the end of the day. Like you just let the trade keep running until it's complete. Okay. So that's basically swing trading in a nutshell. Now, how to catch hundreds of pips, right? That's like the big burning question. One way to catch big moves is to look at your higher time frames. Okay, so that would be like your monthly, your weekly, your daily time frames. And what you're doing on these time frames is, and I'm sorry if you guys hear all this noise, like it's morning right now, so we're gonna ignore that. Okay, people trying to get to work and not understand. What you're doing is you're focusing on these higher time frames, and you're analyzing the bigger time frames, which equals a bigger amount of pips, or price in forex moves from 1 cent to the next, or $1 to the next, or 1 yen to the next yen. Okay, and you're observing price over hundreds of pips when you're on a higher time frame, right? So if you're looking at a monthly time frame, let's say on like a pair like Euro USD, one monthly candle can equal 100 to 200 to 300 pips. Okay. And what you're doing is you're taking the information from that one candlestick and you're breaking it down over a period of time. You're going from the monthly time frame to the weekly time frame to see how those four candlesticks moved on a weekly, because it takes four weekly candles to create one monthly candle. And then you're dropping down to the daily to see, okay, well, if this is how these four candlesticks on a weekly moved, what did those fluctuations look like on the daily time frame? Like, how did price move from this cent to the next, or from this 100 pips and then it moved 400 pips in this one monthly candlestick? And how can I get in on this move? And that is what you're observing as a swing trader. Okay. Um, what you're also doing too is on these higher time frames, you're setting your structures, right? Whether you're a trend line trader, a support and resistance trader, I'm a supply and demand trader, whatever you're using, you're giving your trades room to breathe. You're not creating so many barriers. Like for example, if you're a support and resistance trader and you want to catch hundreds of pips, you don't want a level at every 50 pips, because that means you have to get in and out of your trade at every 50 pips. But if you're setting your levels to a higher time frame, or your trend lines to a higher time frame, for me, I use estimation zones only one at a time. If I'm setting those on a higher time frame, I don't have any barriers in between. If you've ever seen one of my price charts, then you know that my price chart stays empty because I want to see price flow. And I want to know and see it can flow for hundreds of pips, right? And so that's one of the ways, that you can catch trades is give yourself or your trades room to breathe. Don't set your structures too close to each other. All right. And once again, like I said, like if you can see that your structures are not too close, when you see those bigger movements, you want price to get from this one point to this next point, you'll be able to see price fluctuate. So instead of creating more barriers in between those structures, you just let price flow. Okay. So that's how I'm able to catch hundreds of pips in the market by analyzing the higher time frames and not setting a structure at every like 50 pips or 100 pips. It's literally just letting it flow. Okay, so a good strategy to use when you're just letting price flow is a trend trading strategy. I'm a trend trader. I don't want to trade against the trend because trading with the trend allows me to catch more pips than trading against the trend. And you have to kind of be careful here because it does depend on the time frames once again that you're using. I think time frames really set the tone for everything that you do. Okay, and so some of the you gotta also look at some of the best um currency pairs to trend trade. I think yen pairs are very good to trend trade. I think some of the Aussie pairs and any pair you can trend trade, but you want to trade pairs that trend mostly, that don't go into consolidation as often on higher time frames, like pairs like CAD Swiss likes to consolidate. New Zealand Swiss likes to consolidate. Most Swiss pairs like to consolidate a lot. Um, so Euro NZD likes to consolidate, Euro CAD likes to consolidate a lot, and I think those pairs are better suited for day traders if you're just going to get in and out the market. But for us to be swing traders, you don't want to really be holding a position for like too many months at a time or too many weeks at a time, because you could get bored or you could get anxious and close out of really good positions if you don't have the patience to hold trades. So really finding currency pairs that you can trend trade really does matter. Okay, and a trend trading strategy just says you're going to trade one way to catch the big moves. And I want you guys to think about a highway. Like if you're on a highway, you're driving in one direction for a long period of time until you exit. And the concept of swing trading and trend trading together are the same. You trade in one direction for more than 24 hours until the trade has completed. So what I want to do is take my time to go over EJ with you guys. This is a trade setup that I gave out a few weeks ago, and she's just now completing a move. Okay, and so if you guys look here on the price chart with me, this is the 4 hour time frame, and I want you guys to notice her trend. Okay, so she had a higher high here at 137.553, and her last higher low was down here around 133.74s. Now the fact that I just said higher high means that price is an uptrend, and we don't trade against this. I wasn't looking to sell this because I knew I wanted the price to stay above the last higher low. And she came into position, and this is why I didn't hold, and I'm upset that I didn't hold this one. We'll talk about that in another video and talk about psychology. But this is something that I did call, and some of my students did take this trade, and they've just now profited on this position just today, this morning. Okay. And so, as you guys can see, a good entry would have been here on May 31st. I'm sorry, not May, March. May is in my head, March 31st, which was literally over 2 weeks ago. Okay, going into 3 weeks ago. And the first take profit back up to the high was 246 pips. So risking 134 to gain 246 pips for 1.84 risk to reward. Now, this analysis was best done on the daily time frame combined with the 4 hour time frame for a good entry, or just staying here on the 4 hour time frame for a really good combination of analysis and an entry as well. Okay, and this last position was a 2.6 risk to reward, risking 135 pips to gain 352 pips. And as you guys can see, this is a really good setup. It did go into a bit of consolidation for over a week, and then price pushed up, went back into consolidation for a week, and now she's pushing up. But once again, this is not something that I would want to come to the market every single day to trade, because she may not have, for me, really good setups to want to trade her. As you guys can see, I don't have anything in the middle. I want price to flow up to my targets, because then we're able to see these fluctuations play out a lot better. Okay. And so this is how I'm able to catch hundreds of pips in the market. Not only that, but analyze these trades in the market to give out to my students or to give out to other traders like you guys on YouTube or TradingView, because I think that when it comes to being a coach and being a trader, the same technique that I trade, I like to give out to other people as well. These steps to other people to show you what's possible. Okay, before the move even happens. Like I said, I'll link the analysis video so you guys can see that this was a trade that I called weeks ago and it's now coming to fruition. Another one that panned out really well has been GJ. Now this one is from yesterday. It didn't come down to where I wanted it to. But when I went back and looked at it, there was another opportunity, but I just didn't take that one. And then UJ has been pushing up. My last call on this one was a while ago, but she did have a good setup just last week as well. And so just paying attention to these fluctuations and not worrying about every candlestick, and only the fluctuations really do help when it comes to trading and catching these hundreds of pips. Okay, so I pray that this video see it well with you. And if you'd like to learn more, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and clicking the notification bell, and then following me on TradingView, because I do post extra content on there as well. And if you'd like to work with me and learn this technique in under 6 weeks, just how I'm speaking to you is how I teach it to you. And break it down step by step. Within our 6 weeks together, I teach you my strategy in under 3 weeks. Then we're trading at that strategy week 4, week 5. And then week 6 is when I give you your trading plan. Okay. But if you like to join my trading community automatically, go through a few videos, and then you're on the charts with me at least twice a week, then consider joining the trading community, Trade on Purpose. Okay. I'm here for you guys. I want you to learn and I want you to be great. Okay. So until next time, be blessed.